What's up, everybody? I'm Ethan with Fight Me on This.
I'm Jill at CoachJill.April. Welcome back to the pod.
Did the pod. Cast, is it? Because it's a cast. You don't do that.
What's wrong with calling it a pod?
Well, a pod is like a thing you get in and chill in. Or like, if you're a pea.
I'm still going to call it a pod.
Cast. We finish each other's in. Douchebag. Welcome to Shifting the Lens, your podcast, because you hear it and don't hide in it. I mean, you might hide in it. That's fair. Like, get lost in us.
See?
No, motherfucker, listen.
Anywho, welcome back. We're happy you're here. Episode 2.
Oh, yeah, tickled. Episode how many?
2.
Oh, it is only 2. It feels like a lot longer. I talk to her a lot. We're going to continue our conversation on the About Us section of Shifting the Lens and who we are as individuals, as people, as partners, as colleagues, as all the things that we are to each other. And yeah, where did we leave off last time?
Well, first, we have to start.
We got to do our thing.
Yeah.
We have a thing.
As we said, we're going to start our podcast with we're not calling it good and bad. What did we say?
Hard.
A hard and a moment of joy from your week.
Yeah, hard. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of hard. Not just like in just everywhere. Fuck. Jasper's gone, half gone. It's been tough. It's been tough to see and heartbreaking and devastating. The rest of the country and the province are reeling. The shit for me that's weighing the heaviest in my mind is the shit with the Oilers. For those of you that don't know, they just hired a new GM who happened to have just been banned from the NHL for supporting, enabling, and holding information that dealt with sexual abuse, sexual assault in hockey. So as a survivor with many people who covered up and many people who enabled it and who weren't there, this rings home so fucking close. And this is, for those of you that know me, I'm a diehard Oilers fan. I bleed that copper and blue, but like, holy fuck, this is a weird decision, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And we're going to talk about it because I'm fucking annoyed. I'm more than that. I'm appalled. I'm disgusted. But that's the hard that's sitting in me today. Because like, holy fuck, guys, you guys want to be treated like human beings, and you don't even fucking understand what that means. Yeah, that's my hard this week.
Yeah, just the things we'll overlook in the name of a sport.
A game. A fucking game.
Yeah.
Give them a second chance. Fuck you guys. Like, Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
There's some things you don't get second chances for.
Yeah. Yeah, you're hard.
My hard. What was our week? Oh, this wasn't really like a really hard, but if you know me, I am a fairly introverted human, and we had a lot of humans in our house the past week, which is lovely, and I love them all. It was great to have them, but navigating being an introvert when your house is full of people,
no space to take to yourself,
always interesting.
Hot as fuck.
Yeah, it was hot in this house. There's people in it. We have no AC. Like I said, it was great and lovely. But then I had like 2 hours of nobody being home yesterday. And the way I didn't even turn on a TV, didn't let my dog out of her crate, just sat in the silence. So it's always interesting to navigate that. And it's just learning to take that space and also like not get stressed out by it. Like, yeah, there's humans in my house. There won't be in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. As an extroverted introvert, an introverted extrovert. I don't know which one I fall under. Whichever the one that leans me towards. I absolutely love being around people until I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, till I meet it's but like my threshold for people is massive when I decide it to be. So like we differ that way. till we don't. So like I can so I can understand when she starts to get overwhelmed and overstimulated or it's easy to sense it, and it's like I got our guests go take 10 minutes and chill for a second, go whatever the fuck that we can to create space in those moments because there isn't a ton. Like we had four extra bodies in this house for 4 days. It's not like it's a big house. It worked fine. There's space for them to sleep. It's just when it's 35 degrees out and you can hear, and like I'm loud, and I draw loud people to me, and I haven't seen my best friend in a year. There's lots of stories and laughing, and loudness, and then throw in the other brother in the house who's also loud. It's very like, and then Sean. It's just a lot of loud.
Like it was great, and I like.
There are really many beautiful moments of just like the
Yeah,
boys being boys. Like I can't say another way. Like it was just there's so many cool. Just I could feel it happening, and there's nothing that you can do except for get lost in it. But you just know like you're probably pissing a couple people off after about 15 minutes of it.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like it was a hard and a joy because like I love watching you get to be a boy with your friends, and there were so many moments of that. Like even we were out in the field and they were playing football, and I was like, somebody take a video because it's just like watching boys be boys and like have those light moments in play and just have fun. So as much
Mm-hmm.
as I was like, oh my god, there's so many people in my house, I was also like, wow, what a treat.
Yeah. Yeah, and the joy would be again having people in my space, my people in my space. Rebuilding a few bridges that needed some work, some healing. Completing that process was really nice, and just having my people in my space. At one time, like it worked out that my best friend Sean, my business partner, mentor, video guru, he snuck in from Vancouver to come see us. And we didn't tell James, we didn't tell Brian, we didn't tell anybody. It was really cool to see James get to light up at the sight of somebody else. That the connection is still the work that we've done together, all three of us in the past, and being around each other before. So to see the love from James to Sean to Brian to Sean for everybody to come together like that in our house was really beautiful, and to just be full up again. It's a lot of work doing this shit all the time. It's a lot of work giving all the time and doing the work and going to places and having things to say about what's going on in this world. And it's fun to have your people around you that help you get through that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just good, man.
I love that. Yeah, we're gonna shift gears a little bit, less about us and more about our life. Technically, that's the same thing. Now that I say that out loud,
Like I get it. You get it. You get it.
Yeah. Again, going off of questions we've been asked, we asked you guys. These were like the most popular questions we got.
That's why I said it was there.
I know.
I motherfucking
I
said
forgot.
it was there, Sean. I said, whatever.
Uh,
I'm gonna hang it on the wall.
I would say these are the most popular questions we get. So
Mm-hmm.
let's start out with an easy one. What does poly mean?
By definition?
Yep.
Polyamorous, however you want to determine the word. The love of many. It's real simple, real basic. Yeah, that's really like it's genuinely it. Polyamory, and by definition is the love, like the relational emotional connection between many people, as many as you, the being, decide. We as human beings do this already. Sorry to tell you, but we do this naturally. We are sent to these places like daycare, school, kindergarten to make friends whom we're supposed to love and care for.
Different than non-monogamy.
Which is actually much more about the anarchy of monogamy and everything it doesn't mean, which brings into account a lot more of the physical side of things than the relational and emotional side. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a relationship and emotion in ethical non-monogamy or consensual non-monogamy. I prefer, because ethical would mean I'm gonna twitch.
I would also say and somebody might be like, no, which is fine. You can disagree with me, but I don't think I'm wrong. Um, if you if you've done friends with benefits in your life, you've done non-monogamy ethically, because you agreed on that, and you
I don't know
agreed
what
that.
camera to look at, but that's the first time I've heard her say that correlation out loud. That was the I got to hear that with you. That's good. I'm not even going to argue
Like
that.
you, because
Look,
you
I say
agreed.
that shit, and people are going to be butthurt about the way I said it and the way she said it, but like the love of many. We fuck it up and think that means the fucking of many. I don't know why that is. I don't know why we have to be that way. We're such fucking disgusting creatures sometimes, but whatever. Anyways, the idea of non-monogamy is that you don't want to be with just one. You might not even want to be in a relationship. I mean, you might have experienced trauma in many places along that road to get to the fact that you actually realize that it's a bunch of bullshit. You might just enjoy people. I had to think about how to say that. I didn't really think about it, and that's perfectly fine. Uh, the concept of polyamory is deciding who you get to love, who you choose to love, how you choose to love them. It's not that you fuck or are physical with everybody. You get to choose how you engage with these people in their lives, and they also get to, holy shit, choose for themselves how they fill up and take that space. What a fucking wonderful concept. That
Which is actually my pet peeve in this life as a female, is that
mhm.
I get decisions too. Because the amount of questions, comments I've gotten, that's like, wow, what a nice life for him. He gets his cake and
The
eats it
pet
too.
peeve is not that she gets to make decisions.
The
Your
pet
tism
peeve
did
is
that
that
funny.
the pet peeve is that people think Ethan's out here being like, this is what we're doing, okay? Okay, great. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, sounds good. I also have a brain and thoughts and
And a heart
feelings.
and emotions and needs and things like, and I feel the best of them. Like I feel a lot of them. I love being the one that gets to, but I also love that I don't have to.
Yeah. I
It's
just
not
think
an
it's
obligation
such a weird stereotype.
because it's all toxic. It's all seen as this toxic fucking thing because some dude came up with an idea about ethical non-monogamy so that he can fuck down everybody he wants, and that's do your thing, bro. But stop calling it that. It's not that. And that's the thing that most of us, at least people that are speaking up about their relationship, speaking up that there is another way, or trying to like declutter and unmuddy, is that this is far deeper than skin and surface level. Like be who you are, be what you want to be. I'm not host shaming. I'm none of that. Do your thing. But we're trying not to muddy the water so that everybody can fit where they choose. That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's polyamory. That's polyamory to me, to Jill, to us.
Yeah. Um, which one do I want to ask first? I guess these kind of go hand in hand. How did we become poly? I'm going to ask it how it was written. You
Yeah.
want me to read the second part first? Okay. Was your relationship always poly, or did you start off monogamous?
How did we become poly? How did I become poly? Well, like the long story short is some motherfucker that decided to be a parent and bring me into this world then decided to fuck me as if we were in a relationship when I was really young. And what happens to the human brain when that goes off is that it fucks up the love map, the way we actually perceive connection and do it in this world. And I didn't know up until I was like 30 that something was actually wrong with me, in that sense that I was trying to fit into these boxes that I didn't. And it finally became apparent that I kept trying to fit into that same box instead of making life fit the way that I am. I look back on my life and realize that I've loved many, loved all, tried to understand the concept, tried to help, been that person since I can fucking remember. And I always felt like I didn't belong. I felt like a fucking alien out here. And it wasn't until my therapist suggested that there might be a word for that. There might be something for you to look into, to research, to do the thing that you like to do, and that's study it. There it was. Polyamory made sense to me. Polyamory made way more sense to me than being hated by existing in the boxes and the places that I was trying to be. So how do we become poly? Is not that I made the decision to become poly, is that the decision was made before I could make one. And then it took me 30 years to figure it out.
Yeah. And what a crazy life it would be if we knew these were options sooner. But
That's just my story, and Jill has her own.
yeah, different story. I've followed people that are poly for a quick minute. I don't know if I ever realized, like, put two and two together, if that made sense. Like, I knew the people I followed were poly, and I was like, that's cool. Do your thing. Then in my last relationship, I was dating a man, and I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm straight. And he was like, cool, we could have a threesome and figure that out. And I said, I don't think that's right. So part of becoming poly was wanting the space to figure that out. Not that way. That felt like the monogamous straight man answer to be like, well, as long as I'm there, we can figure it out. Um, and yeah, I don't know, walked back into your life, knew that monogamy was not it, knew I needed to sort out some of my life, and it just made sense to have the safety and security here, but go do my thing and figure it out at the same time.
Yeah. And yeah, was it always poly? No. No, I spent my life monogamous, and it wasn't until my last relationship in monogamy where, like, it finally fucking was just there. Like, I'm fitting into these boxes that everybody else keeps telling me and demanding that I be in. And for me, it was, I think the confirmation was walking away from my faith. Um, yeah, I can poke holes in Christianity with my lived experience, my story. I can poke holes in everything that's ever been said to me about faith and how we're supposed to do life, and I could never I couldn't do the math anymore. I could always justify it. Just have faith. There's this ghost up there, this non fucking thing that's so ever graceful. Then how did the church take the side of the abuser? How did the church give him shelter? How did the church cast me out multiple times for navigating a life through the lens that they put over my eyes? Like, this was not an overnight thing. This was not like on a whim. This has been festering in me my whole life. Like, trying to fit into this space that is horrific to fit into. No child should have to go through what I did and then be thankful for it while I created and built this life of success without wanting to die every day. I have to be thankful for that and give thanks to the person that did it to me. Because God knows all, sees all, knew before I was woven together in the womb. So that makes him in this life on this planet a fucking accomplice. You can see how fucked up this Stan Bowman shit with the Oilers is because if he knew, then he's equally guilty. And I could do this all day with you motherfuckers that are getting upset because I'm making correlations. But this is what it's like out here, seeing this shit happen all the time. I am this way. Great. Like, I love being this way. I love that I found the place that I'm supposed to be, the freest I've ever been, the most me I've ever been. Doesn't mean I'm like the most, doesn't have to be. But I get to breathe deep for the first time in my life consistently because I am who I actually am. And I'm living a life that before this year I was doing for everybody else still. Weird. That's how I became poly.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to look back and like put all the pieces together. Like I've questioned the way my family has lived their lives for a long time. I grew up in a straight white Christian family. And a long time ago, I was like, I don't think kids are for me. And then that trailed into, I don't think I want to get married. And then that trailed into, I don't want to do what any of you did. But like now being here and putting the pieces together, it's like, oh yeah, no, those pieces were in our brain for a long time. It's just like not knowing there is an option. Like I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
another option besides straight, white, married with kids. Every single person in my family is that or has done that and is now divorced. I'm good. Thanks. And there's plenty of I won't say plenty. There's lots of happy marriages out there, but like I haven't witnessed that many.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to believe that that's the only option and that everyone is supposed to go and live this life. Um, so yeah, slowly putting the pieces together. I still don't want kids. I still don't want to get married. I think you can commit to people and be loyal and faithful and all the things that marriage is supposed to create without signing the papers.
Yeah, and I will still never understand like thousands of dollars to say I love you.
Yeah, like can't.
That's dumb in the fucking face, you guys. Like nobody else sees that shit. You're spending money for a bunch of people you don't talk to come watch you say I do. With when, like if it was love, then the only person that needs to hear it is the mother. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
and
Before God, man, fuck that nigga.
I also just like that should be a choice, not a oh I signed a piece of paper 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and now I hate the person I signed it with. But
Fully down.
here I be, still married. So I think get married, do your thing, live your life. But I think you should be loyal and faithful and committed because you want to be, not because a piece of paper says you have to be.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so just putting the pieces together, realizing there's other options out there, and yeah, the frustration from being monogamous and the frustration of having people tell me I'll get married. My least favorite. You'll change your mind. You'll want kids. There's not a maternal bone in this body. Tell you that for free. But it's just yeah, going against the grain is not always fun, but there's other options out there. Um, become poly. Start. Got it. Cool. I think this is one of my favorite questions we got.
Hmm.
How do you not feel jealous or territorial over your partner having other partners?
You want me to answer that?
Well, you can say your piece.
Well, you add, like you're reading the questions. Like I could read the question, and then you can answer it.
Okay.
How do you not feel jealous or territorial over your partner having other partners?
Um, I don't know if you ever don't. Like, we've talked about this before. Jealousy is a weird thing that people love to hold on to. It's the number one response we get when we tell people about our life. I could never, I'd be too jealous. So you're just gonna continue to be jealous forever? Um, yeah, just a weird thing to want to hold on to in our opinions. And I don't think the goal is to not feel jealous or not feel territorial, but figure out why it's happening.
Yeah, like walk through it. Like I think that one of the biggest uh, successful tools of being polyamorous or even existing in life is being able to walk through jealousy with your people. And the reason I say that is because jealousy is not a them thing; it's a you thing. Jealousies are just insecurities projected on other people. That's all it is. It's what if I'm not enough for them because they have something else that's better than me. That's weird. That's weird math to get to my worth based off of two other people's idea of it. But if I'm in a secure relationship, then jealousy shouldn't happen. That's impossible. Christians can't be jealous because they're in perfect relationship. Monogamous people can't be jealous because they're in perfect relationships.
But
I would,
that's also a
but that's not
monogamy thing.
right. That's incorrect. Everybody has a jealousy problem because we all have insecurities.
But I think the biggest one is like the biggest one we see and that came up for me as I've navigated this is like a big piece of that comes from monogamy because only one person can exist at a time. So if he goes and finds other partners and they do something better than me, I'm out. But like that's monogamy.
And that's assuming I've ranked somebody.
Yeah.
Like
Like, oh,
that's the other
here
piece of
now.
it. Like
See ya.
that means that you're doing math in my ranking system as if I have one. People have the hardest time with me saying that we don't do hierarchical polyamory. Well, she lives with you. Yeah, cool. She chose to take up that space. Like, if we had more space, like we can have another nesting partner for our third is like having a time not being here. So we're juggling an idea. Like, what do you mean? There's no rank. There's nothing that someone else, like Nicola, our partner, there's nothing that Nicola can do that Jill does for me in being around me and doing the thing, doing life with me. Vice versa, the same. Like, there's no Brian. Brian, like, we talk about our QL extending a polycule. For those of you who don't know, it's like the group of people you spend the most time with that you are in a relationship in some way. This house, this space, like, Brian's irreplaceable. Sean's irreplaceable. The people that we do like every person in my life is by definition irreplaceable. It's weird to think that I'm going to try to replace each and every one of them.
What a weird game.
Like, I can tell you right now, I had a best friend, Travis. 21 years we were best friends. That guy bled for me. I bled for him. I've broken bones for him. Like, I protected him with my life and vice versa. And when I needed to get clean and needed to clean up, I had to like put down a 2 decade friendship because he just wasn't there yet. I love that man to death still to this day. Still to this day, if he called, like if he needed me, I'm gonna get emotional about it. He'd get me. But like, I love you, man, but from over here for so many reasons. Like, and I didn't replace that. I had a little bit of space for a new friend who decided to take up a lot of it. I had a steward that came into my life when I needed him. And then I got to be in his life when he needed me. And then now I have space for more. And here comes Brian. James left, went to Egypt. Sean left, went to Vancouver. Jesse left, went to Vancouver. Like, this is a part of life. Judging people on their ranking systems of importance is weird when people, by definition, can come in and go out so often. So why not just accept and enjoy them for what they're here to do with you, for you, because of you, and you vice versa for them? It's a lot more peaceful. What a beautiful life to live with that many people.
Yeah. And it always comes back to like, it's a you thing
Yeah.
if you're jealous, which is fine. You're allowed to be.
I get jealous of Jesse and Sean being together in Vancouver all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But that's a me thing. I'm missing out. And then when I go there and I'm like, I don't know why I was jealous. I have nothing's changed. I've been gone for 6 months and it's brand. We still all the same. We the same child together when we're together. Like, it's so then why be
But it
jealous? I don't
still
have
comes
to.
back to that like fear of being replaced, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Which,
Insecurity.
yeah, have the fear, but figure out why it's there. I used to always say that I don't get jealous. Which I'm gonna defend myself was true when I was monogamous. The thing that used to drive like my friends insane, my partner's insane, was that I didn't get jealous. Like, I've done long distance, I've done whatever. I never cared. You want to hang out with girls? Cool, go do it. You want to lie to me and go to Italy? Cool, go do it. I'll find out eventually. But like, why would I sit here and be jealous and panicky and insecure? Like, if you're going to cheat on me, you're going to cheat on me. There's no point in me freaking out about it before it happens. Um, until now. Then I had a moment a few months ago where I was like, uh-oh, I think I'm jealous. But it wasn't for any of those reasons. The jealousy comes out in me when it's a first of something.
You want to
Um,
explain that to them?
yeah, when it's something that like Ethan goes and does with one of his other partners that we haven't done yet. It could be like an activity or a photo shoot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that also comes from monogamy of like, I'm your partner, so we should do everything together all the time, and I should be the first one to experience it, which is not realistic. I'm one human. How am I supposed to be at all the things all the time, always? And that is a perk of this life, is like you have multiple people to do multiple things with. So if I'm like, yeah, that's a no for me, I don't want to do that activity, you have other people. But I can't sit here and then be jealous that you went and did that activity with somebody else.
Yeah, and it's like it also comes down to, again, in that it's conversation. Sorry, like, I know something's up always, and I know if it's like a something about what I've done. Like, it's like in that moment I know what it was. I remember what this one was. It was a photo shoot. I'm a model. I've done many photo shoots. Some of my coolest things I've done with my body, just out of sheer holy shit, look at me go. And I'd done a spicy photo shoot. I'd done a couple by myself. Never did partner, and I got asked to do one. And yeah, fuck yeah, it's my thing. I'm a model. I can do whatever the fuck I want with my body. It's my life. Fully supportive, and then edgy, and not that I couldn't go, but just something's up. Uh, and it was like, hey, what do you need? Like, it's something to do with this thing. So, like, do you need time and space? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, like I have no feeling about it right then and there. It's gonna annoy me that she hasn't told me because I don't have the time for this, but I do. I have all the time and the space for it. I want to know now. I want this thing to be handled, and so my partner is putting that side of me down. Like, cool. And she usually fucks off. Like, takes a second, goes upstairs, does something, works, fidgets, does something to keep her brains and hands busy, and comes back, an hour later, sometimes two, with a this is why I felt this way. And my job in that moment is to let her talk. Because like there's still pieces of me that want to go, but but I gotta wait. I gotta let her say it so that I know what she actually means, and that she knows that I'm hearing what's up, so that this will always be a space she wants to come to. Like that's one of the toughest parts for me because I know something's up. I know we can fix this. Let's get it fixed. But it's not about that. It's healing. It's making sure that the next time we walk this path, there's more footing there. It might not be a one and done thing. It's could be the next time, the next time. But for me, in those moments, it's making sure that she knows she can say the thing, however long that takes, no matter how unnerving or tough it is for me to sit in it. It's never I've done something wrong. It's we've touched a feel, and we want to know what it is.
Yeah, and I think that's a big difference of like you not getting offended by it either, because lots of people would take that personally. That doesn't actually help anyone sort anything out. So yeah, it's having that conversation that's going to be uncomfortable for everyone, but there's always a why behind it. It might not be there right away. It's usually not for me. I'm just like, this is a thing. Let me figure out why it's a thing. But there's always a why.
Take your fucking feet down.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's always just figuring out the why and having the conversation. Um, the territorial side of that is different, I think.
Yeah, that one. I don't actually get to talk on it. It has nothing to do with me. This is fun because I thought when this question got asked, I'd have something to say about it. I don't. My thing I had to say was that it is always a thing here. It's something about me that is creating that jealousy, that jealous space. But the territorial thing is fascinatingly and wonderfully her bit. So I'm gonna sit and say. How do you handle the territorial side of me having other partners or looking for other partners or engaging with other people?
Yeah, the territorial side is interesting to me. It's only happened once. Oh, maybe twice. Yeah, we'll say twice. One slightly more dramatic than the other.
We can
Um,
laugh about it because we talked about it. Like it's funny because I'm the protective thing. I'm the jump all over and protect the being. I'll do that for you. You looking at the camera or hearing this. It's that person. But like I'm tickled by being protected. I don't defend
yeah,
it.
like
Support. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels good when she told me about it. When she figured it out, you go. I'm excited. I like it.
yeah, I may be 5'4", but like you can.
You can't tell, but I'm massive compared to her.
Uh, but yeah, I have a thing about fucking with my people, and it drives me bonkers. And like that's the territorial side for me. It's not that he has other partners. It's not that other people exist. Like I am fairly good at welcoming people into our home. Might take me a second, but like I'll get there. But it's a trust and a protective thing for me. I think one of the hardest parts for me is trusting people with you, and that might sound weird, but like trusting people to not make the hard days worse, trusting people to not say something stupid or do something stupid. And we're all humans, we're allowed to, but navigating that is hard for me because I know how easy it can be sometimes. Um, and having people be here saying they want to support you and then watching them do the direct opposite will always bring out the territorial side of me. Because then I'm just like, okay, go. I want you here. I don't need you here. You're not helping. Please leave. So I think it's just trusting people to handle you with care, for lack of a better way to put
I'm
that.
like a
Like,
bomb that way. It's just like just don't drop him.
yeah, and it's just like any. It's one of my favorite parts of being poly is getting to be a girl and watch other girls walk into your life because I know their intentions fairly quickly when they walk in.
What
Whether
do you mean by that? Because the people are going to ask, how do you know what girls' intentions are?
I think we all.
No, no. Own your sentence. If you're going to say it, or we'll cut it.
um, I can usually tell what people are looking for when they walk into this life, and it's the way they interact with me, the way they interact with you, the way they speak. Um, and I don't usually say it out loud at first. I will let people be themselves. But yeah, it's any sense of like disrespect, hurt, that kind of thing will always set me off where I'm just like, nope, you gotta go. But I also respect and understand that you are a human being, a grown man. You can make your own decisions. And I don't have to like everyone that walks into this life. But then I will just remove myself. I will go for a walk or make myself not be here when someone's in our home or choose to not go to an activity or whatever it may be because it's not up to me.
Yeah, and we aren't dating people together, which is another thing people like don't understand a lot of the time. This is as much as we do life together. This is still like her life to figure out. I still straight your titties for that. And my life to figure out. Listen, ma. There we go. And like the ability for her to suss people out is a great one. I don't see them all the time. I'm pretty solid at it. Like, but I also will give people, you know, a chance to figure this shit out. Whereas Jill's comes from the much more protective side of like, I look, while you're right, listen, like one more. They get two, no threes, okay, and that's where we agree. It's not for everybody that way. I think that a big piece of this is trusting your people. This is one of my best friends, if not my best friend. She's here all the time. She cares about me the same way Sean, James, Brian all get a say in me navigating life safely. If there are people that are around me that they don't vibe with, like that's a big sign. My my whole circle's here to support me. So it's not just about Jill's view of other people. It's those vibes don't last long in this house, whether it's Jill, Brian, whoever the fuck's here. Like it's a part of doing this life. You want people that you vibe with. You want people that are on the same heading as you. You're not going to be on the same path. I guarantee that.
Mm-hmm.
But moving in the same direction at the very least, that's all we're looking for. And that's what everybody should be looking for. People that can push you, people that can drag you along, people that will walk hand in hand with you. That's what this life is for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that means protecting it sometimes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's also giving you the autonomy to make your own decisions.
Yeah, like she's going to meet crazy people. She's met a few.
Also, like,
Like crazy's
you,
good. Like we bring crazy. Like but like
but
there's
like, you can
wilds.
see the crazy sometimes.
We
And
don't use crazy. We gotta stop that because like I'm crazy, but like other people aren't. They wild. We wild. We like wild. We like weird. But sometimes it's like holy shit. I You're weird and my weird don't actually match,
mm-hmm.
which is sad because I like when weird matches. But yeah, that's not everybody's gonna vibe, and that's a part of the defense mechanisms and support structures you put in your life. There's one of them. The other
Yeah.
one's behind a locked door over there. Closed. It's closed. He types loud.
Yeah. But yeah, you can be territorial without ruining it for your person. Like, he knows when I'm like, mm-mm, I'm good. I don't hide it that well.
And like, to be clear, uh, I date outside this house.
Yeah.
For the record, I go and like have coffee with people. I'm looking for the connection of any kind, friends, playmates, colleagues, potential partners. Like, there's no expectation on going to meet people. I might have made a great friend. I have no idea what it is. Then I get to be like, well, they like to come hang out. I talked a lot about Jill. I talk a lot about this life. They want to check out the space. And that's like the second filter. It's like, can they hang in the space? Can their energy actually like vibe and mellow out in here? That's the space that's uncomfortable for Jill sometimes. That's the space that's uncomfortable for me sometimes, because sometimes I bring people in this house and I'm like, whoa, the space has already made it uncomfortable. This is fucking weird. And like, it's also kind of fun because it makes it, again, a safe place for people to be, even if this person doesn't wind up meshing with us and vibing with us for long. Like, they're still welcome.
Yeah.
It's just they might not get to eat at our table all the time.
Yeah, and I think that goes into the next question of, do you have to agree on the other partners? No. If he's a grown man, he can make his own decisions. We do have, because the other part of this was, is there rules? Um, yeah, we have agreements, we have rules, whatever you want to call them. And I think that's a big one, especially because we live together. That
Mm-hmm.
conversation sometimes has to be had where I have to be like, yeah, I don't really vibe with that person, which is fine. But then we make adjustments accordingly. Either
Mm-hmm.
I make myself busy, he plans when I'm not home, whatever. Maybe if somebody wants to come into this space and we don't vibe, they don't vibe me, whatever it may be, we will adjust
And
accordingly.
vibe has nothing to do with respect. Because if you don't respect her, like, you can't come in this house. I don't give a fuck who you are. But vibing is different. Not everybody
Yeah.
vibes together, but you will respect my other partners the same way my other partners respect you. And that's a big, big caveat rule, fucking non-negotiable. Is like, vibing is one thing, but you will respect the people that are in my life
Yeah.
the same way I respect the people that are in yours.
And that is a respect thing for me of like, yeah, I don't really vibe with you. So I'm going to go so you can be here and enjoy the space rather
Mm-hmm.
than be here and everybody's uncomfortable. So yeah, we have rules, we have agreements, just to make sure this is still a safe space for everyone, for us, for people that come and go, whatever it may be. We have rules on the health and safety side of things
Mm-hmm.
because your health, your sexual health, that side of things is very important in this life
Hugely, hugely important.
because it's not just the two of us, it impacts lots of people. So we have rules and guidelines around that. And the last part of the question was, or can you just go and have some fun?
Yes and no.
Like,
Um,
I hope you're having fun.
Having a blast. Most of the time, like a solid 83%.
But does that mean we toss the rules out the window and be like,
No.
fuck it, go do whatever
No,
you
like when I
want?
say I'm going for coffee, I never go to somebody's house and fuck. I'll say that. I'm always going for coffee. I have my own rules. Like, I don't sleep around. I'm not about that life. I've spent a lot of my life doing it. It's not where I'm at. So, like, yes and no. I can go have all the fun. I have tons of fun going for coffee. I'm assuming what they mean by go have some fun means that they want to sleep around. Do you, boo? But that's not how we navigate this, as we are polyamorous together.
Mm-hmm.
We are not relationship anarchists that way. We are not non-monogamous that way in whatever form of consensuality you use. Uh, it's a blast to live this life with the freedom to see people the way I choose to, but I choose to have the conversation so that it continues to remain safe.
Yeah, and I think the rules, guidelines, whatever you want to call them, we have is the reason it's easy to make this fun. It would be absolute chaos if we were just running around doing whatever we
Yeah,
wanted
like
with whoever
there's
we wanted.
like people will think I'm fucked and I don't care for this. I love when I catch Jill on her dating sites. We're sitting on the couch, we're having a lazy moment, a lazy hour. She's up on Hinge giggling at some girl that's flirted with her or something. I look over, I'm like, well, yeah, she's cute. That works. Like, hell, might as well. Like, how? Like, I get to share in this cool thing that all of you making you. I can feel it in the air already. It's all making everybody uncomfortable. But like, I can be on Hinge and being like, yo, this. Oh, she actually read my profile. Neat. She's got questions about this. Oh, she actually wants to go for coffee. Ah, and smoke a joint and go for a walk. This is fantastic. It's my favorite time of day. Like, I get to say that directly to Jill. Oh, show me what she look like. Do I know her? Like, I don't. You tell me. Take a look. Here's my phone. Ooh, she has cats. Oh, fuck that. Like whatever it is. Like it's not even that she's picking a partner. It's that like this is a part of this thing, this space that we have. I have a type in a way, in many ways, but I'm also pansexual. I have a very I like flavor. Uh, and and my attraction is not based on that. So it's a lot of fun to share that version of me with my person, and for holding the space for Jill to be bi, to be gay, to not be all the way straight, and to see what she's into, who she's looking for, the things that catch her eye is learning more about my person, learning more about one of my partners that's venturing into exploring herself deeper. It's just there's some really cool things you don't take into account when you're sitting on the outside of this life before you jump in it, and just sharing this free space of that is such a weight off. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, like my favorite thing is when men show up on my apps and I'm like, ah, men. And like Ethan knows every time. He's like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know how they got here. But like, that's the fun of it. And like, there's so many perks of living this life, and you just have to lean into them and find them and play the games. Even if it's not a game, just like have the fun with the little moments. Um, because we don't have to hide swiping on dating apps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So you
like
might as well have fun with it.
like what is the point? Like I just don't understand. Why not share everything with your people? Like I share my home, my space. Don't share toothbrushes. That's weird for me. But I'm a germaphobe. That way, anyways. You'd be surprised how I'm not other ways. Uh, but yeah, I think that in this life, there's a beautiful connection in sharing things and learning about your people, and it's this no expectation from me. I got nothing on Jill. She's got to choose to be here. I don't, even still, there's times in supporting each other where we have to remind the other person, like, this is what we're here for. Like, as much as I have to choose to do the supporting, I'm choosing to be here. I want to be here. I got you. I got you is a reoccurring statement in our home. It's just a friendly reassurance, a reminder that like this comes with the good. This piece of heavy right now is less heavy because there's equal and heavy good.
Yeah, but I think the good and the fun comes because we have rules and guidelines, and
Mm-hmm.
like I can trust him to walk out the door and stick to what we'd agreed on. I don't have to sit here panicky being like, what is he actually doing? Where is he actually going? Because we've had the conversations about what makes this safe for both of
Mm-hmm.
us.
Yeah, open honesty. I ain't gotta do nothing but share and be open and honest about it. I made another coffee connection. Sick, who is it? What's the vibe? Hippie for sure. Oh, that'll be a time. Yes. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's always that thing. There's nothing that I'm looking for and okay for. It's just neat to be able to be like, yeah, I connected with somebody else and have somebody foster that connection with me. What a wild time.
Yep. Pretty neat. I think I'm going to leave the rest for
Mm-hmm.
another day. But yeah, if you have questions
If
about.
you want to sponsor us, if you want to partner with
Okay.
us, if you want to, no, you said questions because we got plenty. We're gonna like the people are gonna see this and ask questions naturally. I don't know if that's gonna be the natural process. But like, if you want to sponsor us, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to get your mic on here, if you want to get your clothes on here, if you want to get we're gonna make a list of things you can support us doing. But reach out to us. You can reach out. We'll give you our emails. Uh, and yeah, contact us if you want to be involved in this podcast in some way. Maybe. Maybe we'll have you as a guest. We don't
That'd be
even.
cool.
That'd be sweet. Maybe not right here because you have to sit on our shoulders or some shit. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we don't have room for 3 chairs, but we'll figure it out.
But there's definitely room for more here.
If you want to get in contact with us, you can find us on Instagram at Shifting the Lens Podcast. You can find me at CoachJill.April. But like if it's podcast related, try to send it to the podcast Instagram. That's why it exists.
And yeah. And I'm Ethan. Fight me on this. Instagram, website, pretty much everywhere. And yeah, we're gonna keep talking, keep sharing. If you have questions about this life that we live, if you have questions about the spicy life we live, if you have questions about wellness, if you have questions about working with either one of us online or in person, oh, those questions matter.
Yep, we got you in probably most of the ways.
Yeah, it's a lot of ways. Um,
Thanks for being here. We'll catch you next time.
yeah, thanks, guys. It's great talking, great shooting the shit, making you laugh, crying a little bit, whatever. Love you.
Bye.